joining us on the program. Always a pleasure. For our next story, we stay in the region where Israel's military has confirmed that its navy struck a Hezbollah infrastructure site near the southern Lebanese city of Naqoura. The strike came a day after Israel's foreign minister warned the Lebanese armed group against joining the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. According to the Israeli Defense Forces, the targeted strike was used by Hezbollah to advance terror operations against Israeli civilians. The escalation comes as Lebanon's health ministry reported that an Israeli strike killed one person in southern Lebanon on Friday. Israel said the target was a member of Hezbollah, the Iran-backed group. Israel has continued to carry out near-daily strikes on Lebanon despite a November ceasefire with Hezbollah and an unprecedented bombing campaign it launched on Iran last week. Israeli officials have stated that they will continue military operations in Lebanon until Hezbollah is fully disarmed. We now move over to Europe, where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the country is developing interceptor drones to counter Russia's intensifying drone assaults. Kyiv reports that over 400 drones were launched by Russian forces in a single night, including Iranian-made Shahed drones, causing casualties and infrastructure damage. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine have completed another prisoner of war exchange, part of agreements reached during recent peace talks in Istanbul. Hundreds of captured troops were freed, though exact numbers remain undisclosed. Tensions have escalated as Russian President Vladimir Putin said he does not rule out a possible attempt to seize the Ukrainian city of Sumy. Let's listen in to his statements.
В Сумской области глубина составляет где-то 10 до 12 километров. Где-то там 8, 10, 12 километров. Дальше город Сумы, областной центр. Но у нас нет такой задачи забрать Сумы. Но в принципе я этого не исключаю.
Ukraine's foreign ministry condemned the comments, calling them proof of Moscow's disdain for the peace process. The US President Donald Trump stated that the United States should not be required to meet NATO's 5% GDP defense spending target, arguing other alliance members should contribute more. We now move on. In a major development, President Donald Trump has announced that the United States is close to securing trade deals with both India and Pakistan, among other countries. During a June the 20th briefing, Trump expressed confidence in the negotiations. Let's take a listen in to what he said.
As you know, we did a very great job with India and Pakistan, and we had India in. It looks like we're going to be making a trade deal with India. And we had Pakistan in. It looks like we're going to be making a trade deal with Pakistan. And it's a beautiful thing to watch.
As his administration pushes for bilateral agreements with countries such as Japan, South Korea and the United Kingdom, Trump's sweeping tariff strategy, including a 10% tariff on almost all imports, is pressuring nations to reach agreements before a July the 8th deadline. He also suggested that if talks move fast enough, an extension could be avoided. As time runs out, the global trade landscape could soon experience significant changes. Let's now turn back to the Middle East, where the United Nations is urging more international support for Syria's reconstruction efforts after 14 years of devastating war. This is in order to speed up the return of refugees. He spoke from Damascus on June the 20th. Let's take a listen in to what he said.
About 1.5 million, 1.4 million are people that were displaced inside Syria and have gone back to their homes. And 600,000, this is an important figure, are Syrians from the neighboring countries. They were refugees in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Turkey, and in other countries and have returned. We work with all the governments in the region, the neighboring countries and the authorities here in Syria to help people go back.
That was Filippo Grande, the UNHCR chief. While over 2 million Syrians have returned, many still face major challenges. including a lack of housing, jobs and basic services. Grandi emphasised that sustainable returns can only occur if the country is rebuilt and infrastructure is restored. He also discussed with Syrian authorities the need to encourage donors to provide more resources for the reconstruction. With Western sanctions recently lifted, Syria's new government is hoping for international support to launch rebuilding efforts, which could cost over $400 billion. We move on once again. A former Haitian mayor has been sentenced to 9 years in a US prison. Jean Moreau's Villinia, who's 53 years old, was convicted of immigration fraud in Boston. He lied on his US visa application by hiding his role in political violence. Prosecutors say Villinia oversaw killings and torture in Haiti as a mayor. He ruled the rural towns of Les Irois from 2006 to 2010. During that time, he allegedly led attacks against political opponents. In one 2007 incident, Villenia's men fatally shot a man and beat his brother. A year later, 2 men were shot and beaten at a local radio station. Villenia falsely stated in 2008 that he was not involved in political violence. That lie helped him get a green card and settle in Massachusetts. He worked as a truck driver and claimed innocence during the trial, but prosecutors called it one of the most serious types of immigration fraud. He was also found liable in a 2023 civil case in order to pay $15.5 million. His victims had sued under the US Torture Victim Protection Act. Villinia is appealing both the civil judgment and the criminal conviction.